We're Blake and Eli, and we just sold everything we owned from our home in Hawaii, all because we found a one-way flight to Australia for just $150.
We only have 1 month to drive the most epic roads, see the whitest beaches, and discover the insane wildlife.
So we'll be waking up in a new, unfamiliar place every day. Make sure to subscribe so you can experience this entire crazy adventure with us.
First up, we have to drive from Sydney to Melbourne on the wrong side of the road in a janky, old manual van. Crash course on manual driving.
Oh God. What could possibly go wrong?
Our adventure starts here in Sydney, and we only have 3 days to make it to Melbourne. With all of our bags packed in the van, we're ready to hit the road. But then we were told the van was manual, which is a big problem.
Tell me what you searched.
Crash course on manual driving. As if there wasn't enough I had to worry about driving in Australia. Let's see how many times I stall in a 9-minute, 4-kilometer drive. I forgot how this works.
Oh God. Did it stall?
It stalled.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just forgot to take the parking brake off, which is disengage now. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Left side, left side.
I'm driving a manual car in first gear. This is not the blinker. Left hand side of the road. Clutch it. Let out the clutch a little bit. Give it a little bit of gas. We're on the road, baby.
You're doing it. You're doing it. I'm so proud of you.
I need to know where I'm going. Left hand side of the road. Left hand side of the road. Left hand side of the road. Where the am I? Stalled it.
We've gone less than 1 mile.
Kilometer.
Oh.
I feel like a teenager again, just trying to learn. All that's missing is my dad yelling at me in the next seat.
Come on! 4th gear!
They already passed me, they couldn't wait. There's a worker behind me. Oh, that's not the blinker again.
What is wrong with you? Wow, he was close over here. Oh.
That was a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be, but I think we're getting better. How far have we gone?
I think 2 kilometers.
2 kilometers? That's pretty good. And wait, how far is it to Melbourne?
1,000. Okay, so Blake finally figured out the driving situation. We're on the Grand Pacific Drive driving through Royal National Park. We're actually just doing the scenic route today because we don't have a lot of time. We just spend a little bit of time getting groceries and all the other kind of, maintenance things we needed to do today.
Alright, so with all of that hectic driving hopefully behind us for a little bit, let me introduce you to what we're kind of up to. We just started our road trip here in Australia, and this is our first leg of many. And we are
on the Grand Pacific Drive, and we're heading to Melbourne.
That's right, and right behind us are 2 of the most iconic things here on the Grand Pacific Drive, one of which is these awesome paragliders behind us that are just kind of going through the breeze. It's absolutely wonderful and beautiful. And then also way off in the distance, almost between our 2 heads over here, is what?
It's the Seacliff Bridge, one of the most iconic pieces of this drive, so I'm really excited to see it from the top. I know there's a little lookout up there, so we're gonna go check it out.
And since we're driving across the majority of the eastern coast of Australia, we don't actually have a lot of time to stop in places like this, so we like to take things in and then keep on moving.
Yeah, we gotta get going. Bye-bye! Okay guys, I want to formally introduce you to our camper van named Taz. You're going to definitely be seeing a lot more of him during this road trip. This is how we're going to be traveling around for the Grand Pacific Drive, and we'll show you a van tour later on in the trip.
And Taz is short for Tasmanian Devil, so hopefully it doesn't show any of those characteristics on this drive. But we've been here for far too long, so it's time to get going and see the Sea Cliff Bridge.
We made it to the Sea Cliff Bridge, which means we're going up to the lookout. It's only a 10-minute hike, and it kind of has a secret entrance, so this is the way.
We just made it up that little bit of a hike, and it is absolutely gorgeous out here, and such an iconic view right behind me of the Australian coastline. It is so beautiful. Take a look for yourself because we're going to take some pictures.
We are back on the road after seeing the Sea Bridge lookout, which was pretty freaking awesome, and we are now heading to Jervis Bay. This is another really cool spot to stop at, and it's got some amazing beaches. Apparently there's some great white sand there, so we're heading there and probably gonna camp for the night. And for the 2-hour drive, I've got these hobnobs, which are our first Australian cookie we're trying, and so far 10 out of 10. They're literally these rolled oats cookies with like hardened milk chocolate. You've got to try them if you come. Definitely going to be trying a lot more Australian snacks, so hopefully we can get some Rex soon.
The drive to the campground was gorgeous, and we even had a little friend waiting for us when we finally got to our destination after dark. You're cute. Good morning and welcome to Booderee National Park here in Australia. There's literally like a little animal right down here. Hopefully it's not a snake. But anyways, we camped here last night, and a lot has happened since we last talked. So let's walk you through that really quickly. We are nowhere near where we need to be. We are targeting to get to Melbourne in the next couple of days, and I've only traveled about, I think, 150 kilometers, and this drive is about 1,000. So we have a lot of distance to cover, and that is our main goal today. Get as far as we can and see as much as we can in a short amount of time. What date is today?
It's July 1st. June over? July-ing. Like you lying. It's my birthday month.
Oh, in that case, it's very funny.
Thank you. So far, it's a really nice campground. It has beautiful bathrooms compared to U.S. National Park, so we're loving that. And we're gonna go check out some of the white sand beaches here at Jervis Bay before continuing on our road trip.
We just made it to Hyams Beach, also known as Hyams Beach. I don't know the right way to say it, but we don't really know how to say a lot of the words here, so apologies in advance for all of our terrible Australian pronunciations, truthfully.
Yes. This is part of Jervis Bay, and it's just absolutely beautiful. They told us there was going to be white sand beaches, but these are absolutely incredible. And if you're here in the winter, there's nobody.
And honestly, I don't think I've seen sand this white since I was in like Turks and Caicos, and that is like notably one of the whitest sands in the world. As you can tell, it's a little bit of a gloomy day, and it just started raining on us actually. It's only 9 a.m. and we've got plenty to see today, so we really got to get going. We're probably about 5 hours at least from where we want to be camping tonight. Down the way, there's maybe 2 or 3 stops that we want to do if the weather can cooperate.
One thing that I'm really loving about Australia is how easy they make things. Like, for example, to get this van, they were like, oh, you need to pay the tolls. And we're like, oh, okay, like, you know, with cash. They were like, oh, no, just download this app, put the license plate in. It'll even know, like, where you are according to where your phone location is. Like, super cool. They also say that you don't use a lot of cash here in Australia, but we went ahead and got some, and look how beautiful it is. Like, US money isn't this beautiful. You've got all sorts of beautiful colors, this like clear part, just absolutely gorgeous money. So we'll see if we can use it somewhere.
On this first leg of our trip, we're still getting used to the norms in Australia. Even simple things like filling up on gas are completely different here. I'm gonna go inside and ask the guy. And apparently you fill up first and then you go inside and pay.
Can't you just drive off?
No, you don't do that in Australia. In Australia, you are good people that don't drive off.
I was recommended yet another type of Australian candy. This is a chocolate covered honeycomb, and the lady at the gas station said it's super Australian, so Blake is about to try it.
I didn't expect it.
It was, yeah.
To be so crumbly. Hold on, let me just stall the car real quick. Oh.
Hazards on. And hazards off. That's a thing we've been doing lately. What did you think? Rate it, 1 to 10.
I rated it a 0 for distracting me. And maybe like an 8 or so. It reminds me a lot of like astronaut like food. It was so like light and fluffy, and am I going the right way? I don't know. No,
Yes.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. We gotta turn around.
All right, so we're in Narooma, and a really quick stop is right behind me. The Australia rock, or I guess it's like the hole in the rock, and it's actually shaped like Australia, which is really cool. But we don't really have a lot of time to hang around here because we have so much else to do, and we still have our destination many, many miles away. Let's get going. Wow.
Our next stop is the Blue Pool. It's actually right here below me, and it's super freaking awesome. The Blue Pool is man-made, but it's actually salt water from the ocean, and there's actually things living in there.
There's nudies in the pool. So we're pretty lucky that it's at least not raining anymore, but it's still very overcast. And winter in Australia means it's only about 57 degrees outside right now and much colder in the pool. So I'm not really sure that we're gonna be going swimming today.
Oh, that's a nice bath, all right?
You getting in?
No. So when it's not winter, this is an awesome spot to stop, maybe have some lunch, and swim for a little bit. Typically, seals like to hang out here and give you a little bit of a show when you are hanging out at the Blue Pool. So definitely come check it out if you are doing this drive.
Now, somehow we're still 5 hours away from where we want to be tonight, even though we've been driving most of today. So we'll see where we end up, but it's time to go. Near the coast, the roads were unlike anything else we'd seen before. Heading inland, we were hoping to see some wildlife as we count down the miles to Melbourne.
There's kangaroos! Guys, we finally saw our first group of kangaroo. It was so cool. They were just like bouncing all around. Like, it was just crazy. I can't believe they actually exist.
To make up for being behind, we drove the rest of the day into the night. Once we got tired, we pulled off the highway and found a cozy dirt road to park in and spend the night. Good morning and welcome to day 3 of our road trip. To give you a little update, I drove a little bit through the night, so we're only about 5 hours now from Melbourne, which is awesome. We literally parked on the side of the road in this little dirt road right next to the highway. So it is time to get up and start our day. Morning.
Good morning.
Do you like our camping spot?
I wish I had bathrooms.
Let's go find some.
Please. It's cold outside.
Hello and welcome to Lake's entrance. We're only a couple minutes away from where we camped last night and where we had some coffee and game planned for today.
Lake's Entrance is a beautiful coastal town in southern Victoria. Here you can see spectacular views of the inland lakes as well as 90 Mile Beach. You can walk along the harbor, get a coffee and some great food, and just enjoy the views. This is also a perfect time to do a van tour. Let's go.
Before we start, I just want to say that this is 100% not sponsored and we're doing this by ourselves. And behind me here is the Cougar camper van from Travelers Auto Barn. Now let's go inside. The van comes fully equipped for living on the road. For cooking, there's a gas stove, microwave, and a sink, as well as plenty of plates, bowls, and cooking utensils. There's also plenty of room for dry food in the pantry, and the refrigerator can fit more than a few days' worth of perishable items. Above our bed and below it, there's even more room for everything we brought from Hawaii. But our favorite part of the van is that the bed fully converts into a couch and table, perfect for eating or working on the go. In another video, we'll be doing a full van tour, including breakdown of our costs on the road in Australia, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. The best part about all of this is that it costs us less than $100 USD per day to rent this van. With that said, let's move on to our next location. So we came back into town because we wanted to do the walking bridge over to 90 Mile Beach. It is so gorgeous today. The water's beautiful. The air's a little bit cold maybe for Ellie, but it's a really nice day out here.
Yeah. If you're quickly stopping here, just make sure to come do this walk and then you can be right on your way because this is amazing.
Let's go to the beach.
We are currently at Surf Beach and this beach is literally beautiful. Like, I was not expecting Australian beaches to be this beautiful and this big, but you know, here we are learning something new every day. Unfortunately, we gotta get going because we're trying to get to Melbourne before sunset, but if you're coming here in the summertime, make sure to spend a little bit extra time here at Surf Beach.
With another long drive ahead of us, we of course had to try another Australian delicacy.
We have Tim Tam fingers. I think this might be a UK snack as well. I don't know, a lot of them are from the UK and from Australia. Initial thoughts, it seems like a chocolate covered wafer. Looks really good, smells really good. Subtle chocolate, not too dark. I give it a 9 out of 10. This is good stuff.
Not for me.
No?
That's like a worse Kit Kat. I just want a Kit Kat now.
It kind of is a Kit Kat, but I like it more. More of a crunch.
With the sun setting, we could finally see Melbourne in the distance. Our 700-mile journey and the first leg of our Australian adventure was almost over. Now that was a crazy long drive, but we are finally here in Melbourne and we're gonna take a look around. But first, we're gonna check into our hotel because we're not gonna be sleeping in here on the streets tonight. Guys, our road trip was so successful. We made it to Melbourne in under 3 days. That's over 15 hours of driving I did on a manual car. I had no idea how to drive just 3 days ago in Sydney.
We're not staying in Melbourne for long. Tomorrow we're actually starting the next leg of our Australian road trip. This time we're taking on the Great Ocean Road. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.
And we'll see you next time on Today's Adventure. Bye.